I think the first thing will be to say that we need to really take serious the issue of gender-based violence. And one of the things that we need to accept is that we exist in a patriarchal society where men are educated in a particular way. And therefore, we must engage in a process of learning to unlearn how certain things are done. And the same goes to all institutions. It's not only police. It also goes to the presiding officers in the courts, where a magistrate or a law practitioner or any other person asking questions that makes it very impossible for a victim to express themselves in a manner that they will be able to build up a case. Because the courts and police stations are built with the intimidating image. So when you enter a court building, even when you have not done anything, you're not a witness, you're not anything, by just entering, you're so scared, or this thing looks different. So they must know that even before you open your mouth, you are very scared. And make it so possible for you to relax, to feel at home, to feel comfortable, to feel protected, such that you are able to express yourself and tell the court or the policeman, whoever is taking the matters into consideration, your side of the story. So we need to transform all of that. And if Begitele says police have not gone when they were supposed to go, once you say it's a compulsory training, it means everybody must go, and if you don't go, it's punishable. And the force exists through discipline. You cannot be a police officer in the absence of discipline. Cannot be a soldier without being a disciplined soldier. So once you are told the orders are clear, you have to attend. So it's a very important parliamentary question which ought to be followed up. If there was such a compulsory instruction, and why were those police not forced to attend, and those who did not attend, what kind of actions were taken against them? Because we have a system where everybody must be held accountable. We refuse to go to the GNU because we can't go into a GNU with DA and Freedom Front Plus. W. Lewis, who killed Chrisan, was the best friend of the current leader of the Freedom Front Plus, who's a Minister of Correctional Service. Grunewald, till today, there is no proper explanation as to why Chris was killed. Just that he was unruly and all of that, and then they killed him. But we know the system doesn't work like that. The people who perpetuated apartheid and killed our people during apartheid are not held accountable. 30 years into democracy, many bodies are still to be accounted for. As in when they feel bored, we are told that Hoshimampuru, they go and exhume a person from a shallow grave, and this is possibly so and so. It's a by the way activity which we have to take very serious and cannot align with the people who are responsible for these things, and they are not being held accountable. We are being asked to sing Distem by DA and Freedom Front Plus. And when we say we don't want to sing Distem, people think that we don't want Afrikaans. It's not true. We never said we don't want to sing in Afrikaans. We said we don't want Distem. Distem is a song. It's not Afrikaans. That song was sang during apartheid. In Flag Plus, when they were torturing our people, not even in the cells, they created shacks in Flag Plus where they torture you without being processed by any law enforcement. Then decide to create a bride outside the shack. Drink beer, clip drift and coke. Under torture, you hear the smell of braai. As you are still being tortured by that, you know them. When they get drunk, that's what they do all the time. They sing this stem. You are half drugged in that shack. People are singing this stem. And then once the so-called democracy comes, you are told to sing that song which brings back bad memories. Why are the Jewish people not being told to sing the song that Hitler was singing? Just try it one day, you won't live for 2 days. Take a platform and say, those Jewish people are going to sing the Hitler song from now onwards. It will never happen. We sing the song that was sang when Solomon Matlangu was being hanged. And they say apartheid flag is offensive. It must not be shown all over. It belongs to the museum. But you cannot separate apartheid flag from apartheid national anthem. What is the purpose of the song? The purpose of the song is to salute the flag. That song was introduced to salute the apartheid flag. So the two go together. But no. You are being racist. You are being unreasonable. You must accept this. We want a multilingual national anthem. That's enough. That's fair enough. We've got a lot of writers, including here at Rhodes, who can write a nice melody in Afrikaans, which reflects our democratic dispensation, and give it to us. And we take that, we reintegrate it in our national anthem, we replace this step, but still sing in Afrikaans, if that is what our intention is. By the way, the national anthem is not a constitutional requirement. It's the president who decides the national anthem. The same way he decides cabinet. That guy can decide. That guy can decide what is the national anthem tomorrow. But obviously in a democratic South Africa, we want to subject that to some consultations, blah, blah, blah. But the national anthem is the responsibility of the president. It's not a big issue. It's an issue that can be resolved by the president, but there's no political will from the president. So we refuse to be part of a co-option by the DA. I explained to you that the DA said moonshot. When the moonshot failed, it went to mobilize the ANC. But the agenda is still the same, to achieve the objective of the moonshot. Ourselves, Mkhonto Wesizwe, ANC, combined, were 75% of the votes. We can change this constitution. Helen Zille says, we took a conscious decision that there will never be ANC, EFF, Mkhonto Wesizwe alliance. It will never happen. Why? They know that that alliance is going to bring meaningful changes, not some lip service. They know that when we say we'll expropriate land without compensation, they will say it's unconstitutional. We amend the constitution to make it constitutional and then expropriate the land. They know what we are capable of. And the ANC lies through its teeth that we made unreasonable demands. But no journalist cared to ask them, what were those unreasonable demands the EFF made? King in Twelumur EFF asked for, which the DA did not ask for. What is it that made you and the EFF to fight so much that you don't even want to see one another? Because anyway, MK, ANC, EFF is the same family. We come from the same things. There is nothing I'm saying today which Nelson Mandela did not say, by the way. Everything that we are saying, it is in the Freedom Charter. So when you say the EFF demanded an unreasonable thing, just tell us one thing which they asked for which is outside the Freedom Charter. What is it? This illiterate Mbalula will never tell you what is the story about the whole thing. He has got no idea. He just says, no, they are unreasonable. Now they are telling us that there are black parties. What about black parties? The ANC has declared itself a non-racial organization long before it went into alliance with the DA. But when you ask them, why are you working with the DA? They say, we want a non-racial GNU. So we said to them, oh, all along without the DA, were you being racial? Because it looks like you are now being non-racial when there is DA. The non-racialism of the ANC, including the non-racialism of the National Democratic Revolution, requires no validation of the DA. It has always been without the DA. And this distortion must never be accepted. So, when people have sold out, they will say all kinds of things they want to say. But it's not true. We have never made unreasonable demand. One of the unreasonable demands we made in 2016 was that Zuma must resign as a president before we give the ANC our votes. They refused. In this year negotiations, we said, we are not even asking for your president to resign. If you don't want to go into a government with us, we are prepared as the EFF to sit outside government, but vote for a minority government. Which is what we are doing in Gauteng, by the way. The ANC in Gauteng refused to go with the DA. As a result, they've got 36%. From time to time, for them to pass anything, they come to the EFF and MK and say, these are the issues we negotiate, we vote for them. The ANC said no to DA. They passed their budget. What stopped Ramaphosa? The ANC in Gauteng does that with 36%. Ramaphosa has got 40%. What stops him from constituting a minority government? Wes, Mapantiti are prepared to give him their percentage. Olomisa is prepared to give him a percentage. PAC is prepared. So it's even beyond 40%. With all those ex-convicts, criminals, that's how disparate they are. They even go and take criminals into government. Now the criminals are embarrassing them because they don't know anything about governance. So Cyril can govern this country, doesn't need the DA, he doesn't need the Freedom Front Plus. But because he is sold out, he can never go on without those people. We don't want NSFAS. That's why we fight for free, decolonized education. So when we say to you, NSFAS, this NSFAS, we're talking about contemporary interventions that are being made. But that's not us. Our manifesto is very clear. Education must be free, irrespective of your background, whether white or black, whether rich or poor. We have nothing to do with your family background. Here at Rhodes, as to who your mother is, it's none of their business. As to who your father is, it's none of their business. All they need to know is whether you've got the brain to be in this university. And the only method to use is to get the result, metric result. Look at that and say, hey, you come here. Not go and do affidavit that your mother is not waiting for you to come here. Affidavit for what? You don't know your own kids, but you are the ones who are releasing metric results every year. You've got a list of these kids. That's why you even give them to the newspapers. Why can't you give them, all of them, to the university? When she arrives, she presents the result, they punch her ID. She's in the system already. All over South Africa, we must have one centralized registration so that we are not told, hi, this is University of Pretoria, it's for white Afrikaners, and without pronouncing it, they don't say it. But by their actions, you can see that these ones want to perpetuate whiteness. And we ought to take those powers away and then centralize the registration and make you to write there your preference. If the space is still available and you qualify, let's take you to where? you want to go. These universities do not belong to provinces or anyone else. They are national assets. They belong to South Africa. That's why you can find all kinds of people. There is no longer, even in Transkei, during Transkei time, you'll still find a person from outside Transkei in the university. These are national assets. So why are they not being managed centrally and distribute the kids to all the universities and TVET colleges they want to learn at, free of charge? No one must pay. And you know, rich people, they boost their ego by donating. Yeah, that's why they always want to be taking cameras, videos, donating. You know the rich are still going to donate. If there is a child in this university who comes from a rich family, I can tell you without fail, their parents are going to come here saying they are donating to the university. The rich will always find a way to make a contribution. But let education not be sold like fat cakes. There must be a difference between fat cakes and education. Education is not a commodity, it's a right, which is right in the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. You know, Zimbabweans have got themselves to blame. They can go anywhere and say what they want to say. They are part of us, they are part of Africa. But the problem of Zimbabwe can only be solved by the people of Zimbabwe. We can only give them support and solidarity support. But the Zimbabwean youth must stand up. This thing of just being scared of old men who can't even walk, and you are scared of them instead of engaging in a rebellion against those people. The civil rights movement is being suppressed in Zimbabwe. But equally, the votes are being stolen daylight. Chamisa has won elections there many times. Anyone you can go to them there, they tell you, this guy has won.